Today, I'm going to show you something I've been building that solves a huge hidden challenge in recruiting. What happens to candidates after they've been rejected? Most TA teams and recruiters don't have time to process hundreds or even thousands of applications, especially across vast regions like the US, Europe, and Asia. And because of that, great candidates disappear. Pipelines go cold and revenue gets lost. So I built Reactivator, a system that automatically calls rejected candidates and asks a few questions to understand their current situation. It keeps candidates warm, helps you save hundreds of hours, and might even generate revenue through hidden candidate reactivation. Let me show you how it works.
Hi, I'm a voice agent calling on behalf of Google. May I ask your name?
My name is Mike Armstrong. Sorry, what is this call about?
Thanks, Mike. No worries. Really quickly, you applied for a role through LinkedIn, and we think your profile might match upcoming roles. It only takes a minute. Is now okay?
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit about the company?
Google is rapidly expanding across Asia, building AI-first products and cloud solutions for fast-growing markets. We're reviewing applicants whose backgrounds might fit upcoming roles. It only takes a minute. May I ask you 4 quick questions?
What jobs are open?
Checking open roles for you now. Okay, Mike, I've noted your interest. We're hiring across Singapore, Japan, Korea, and Australia in engineering, sales, operations, and data center roles.
What jobs do you have open in Singapore?
In Singapore, we're hiring software engineers, account executives, and sales managers. What kind of role are you ideally targeting next?
Actually, that's really cool because I'm looking for a sales manager job.
That fits perfectly. What salary range are you aiming for?
I'm hoping for a salary of around 150,000 US.
Got it. $150K US. When would you be open to changing jobs?
I'd be open to change my job in the next 1 to 3 months.
Great. So within the next 1 to 3 months. Which region or location interests you most?
Singapore.
Thanks, Mike. I'm just logging that information for you now. Thanks for your time, Mike. We've got everything we need, and someone from the team will be in touch if there's a match. Have a great day.
Thank you. Okay, great. So the call went successfully. Now we have a dashboard. This is the product, the product is called Reactivator, and it's the latest product under the platform, which is called Higher Voice. And so we have a dashboard here, which we built very easily and very quickly. It shows us the regions, and then it shows job functions that are available. So this would be a dashboard for the recruiter or the TA team to give you and your team better visibility into the candidate pipeline, which has been reactivated by the voice agent. So if we look at the top left, we can see the latest call has been logged on the dashboard, and we can see the person's name is Mike Armstrong. That's me. They want a sales manager job. We've also scored them as an 85, which is pretty high because they're interested. And then we get some AI insights into the actual candidate from the call itself. And it says AI insight. Mike Armstrong is a senior sales professional with extensive experience in B2B enterprise, actively seeking a sales manager role with salary expectations of around $150,000. And we can see that logged individually as well in these respective fields. Salary $150,000 and timeline 1 to 3 months, region Singapore, and the date as well. We can also see some tagged words here: leadership potential, positive regional alignment. Now we see the next candidate, Mark Jackson, less of an interesting candidate because they've been scored a 75 because their timeline is a little bit too long. So you can see the AI will actually assess the candidate based on specific criteria that you want when you're going out and reactivating these candidates. So I think the benefit is that this will save you and your team hundreds, maybe thousands of hours. And also you could potentially generate revenue by matching the criteria from this dashboard to future jobs that you have available. And we can set it up so that the AI can tell you, hey, this person actually might be good for this job in the future. Or you can go into the dashboard and say, what candidates do I have available for Singapore? And we can go down, we can see we have all these candidates for Singapore. Great. What about Japan? We got a job in Japan. Let's see. Okay, we got Jessica Park, VP of Engineering, Fred Jones, Joe Jackson. Some of these candidates aren't scored so well. Like we got 50s. We could just ignore them and focus on the candidates at the top. So this voice agent combined with the power of AI, voice, and automation with this dashboard that we built on the back end will allow you to go out, reactivate candidates, and have incredible visibility into those candidates. All right, next, I want to show you the tech stack in the back end for all of you tech people out there. Let's show you how I built this. If you want help applying voice automation to your own recruiting business, I will offer you a free audit. I'll review your business, identify bottlenecks, and show you where voice agents can help you save hundreds of hours and make money. Sign up at Dynaflow.ai, click my Calendly link, pick a time, and let's get connected. This is part 3. We're going to jump into a semi-deep dive into the tech stack. I'll show you how I built this for all you techies out there. So we're using Google as an example company, and the product is called Reactivator. And as you heard, it automatically calls potential candidates who weren't selected for a specific job. And it'll say something like, you were not chosen for this role, but before we close your file or deactivate your file, I'd like to ask you a few quick questions to better understand your situation in the event that you might be applicable or suitable for a job in the future. And then, as you heard, the voice agent will update a role interests. It will update the candidate's preferred region. It will update the timeline and it will provide a comprehensive summary on the candidate. Now, the candidate did not provide that summary. As you heard, the candidate just provided 4 things: job function, salary, region, and timeline. And the AI extracts that information and includes it in the pipeline. All right, I'm going to show you the tech stack. Before I go into that, I just want to give you a quick summary of who I am. My name is Mike. I've spent 20 years in Asia working as a tech recruiter. And I've worked with some of the best enterprise SaaS vendors in the world, helping clients identify and recruit talent and leadership talent across Asia Pacific. And I build tools to help recruiters and TA teams be more productive, save time, and even make money. And I recently built this product, Reactivator, because I have lived the bottlenecks that you're going through right now. You know, the endless follow-ups, the pipeline maintenance, the messy data. So I want to help TA teams and recruiters like yourself save time and make money and do this kind of thing. All right, so let's jump into the orchestration agent, which we used to build this. So I've actually transitioned for this build to a new orchestration platform. Well, it's new for me. It's called ElevenLabs. It's really cool. I like it because it's got some pretty robust capabilities. As you can see across the top here, we've got several tabs. We've got the agent tab. We'll get back into that in a minute. We've got knowledge base where you can add information. We have analysis that allows us to analyze calls, which we can see here. Tools, this is really important, and I'll get back into this in a minute. Tests, widgets. I think widgets are to include this agent as a web voice agent into your website, or extend the product across various interfaces like web and phone. Security, which is important, and then advanced. So if we go back into the agent tab, we can see it as a prompt here. I'm going to expand this. So this is what we call a system prompt. So these are the instructions that you're giving the AI in order for the agent to go out and make the call and go through the call flow successfully. So I'm not going to read through this whole thing, but it says you're a fast, highly professional candidate reactivation voice agent. You sound natural, warm, human, and efficient. And then we've got variables, plug and play. And so for this particular prompt, I've added Google as the company, and this is an about section. And then you can see I've also added the jobs. So this is how the agent knows about the jobs that are open. And then next is the conversation flow. We want the conversation flow to sound human, right? Like we want the voice agent to have an actual conversation with the candidate. And the reason this is important is because we don't want the candidate hanging up on us. We want the candidate to engage the voice agent so we can get that information and help the candidate, and also help you as a recruiter save time. We have qualification questions here. These are the 4 questions that the agent asks. And then we've got adaptive human behavior. So these are some instructions to give the AI to tell it how it can sound human and interesting. And then we have the data that it must collect, tools that it must activate. So the tools section is interesting. Let's get into that next. So we'll go into tools. Now I have built a custom tool here, and this is the tool itself. It's called Send Reactivation Summary, and you can see on the top left here there's a webhook. This webhook is actually coming from n8n, which is the backend workflow tool that I use in order to send the information from the agent to a workflow, and that actually is called a payload that will get sent into a webhook. And we can see the production webhook right here. So this webhook will actually be added here into the tool in ElevenLabs. Now the tool itself, we've got a name, we've got a description. So you can see here, the LLM must generate a single JSON object. This is important, containing the following fields. And then we've got the fields here: name, job function, salary, timeline, region. So this is the information that we're collecting from the person, the end user, the candidate. And then that information gets sent to what we call an endpoint URL. The method is post. And then down at the bottom here, we have in the properties section, the data is being sent. The data type will be a string, and the identifier will be a payload, and then there's a description in here as well. So we can see now if we're going to transition, so that's ElevenLabs. We're going to transition now over to n8n, and this is not the recent call, but we can see for an example, all the data came in here as what we call a payload. So in this situation, the candidate's name is Jim James. Actually, let's go into the latest execution. I think that's this one. So I'm going to actually copy this to editor, unpin data, and we should be able to see that now. Yeah, okay, so this is actually the latest call. We can see the candidate name, Mike Armstrong, job function, sales manager, and so on and so forth. So this came in as a JSON string as a one-shot payload from ElevenLabs into n8n. This is really important. This is how we get data from a voice agent into a backend workflow. Now, how do we extrapolate those 4, 6 fields, those data types, into something that we can send to the dashboard or we can send to a database so we can manage that information and make it really interesting for the recruiter, for the TA team? The way we do that is through code, and the type of code we're using here is JavaScript. I got ChatGPT and Gemini 3 to create some code here. Don't ask me what this code means, but basically what it does is it separates the information into these fields here: candidate name, job function, salary, timeline, region. So we can see that's all been separated, so that's awesome. Then the only thing we need to do next actually is send this data to an HTTP request, which is a node in n8n that allows us to send this information to external services through an API, essentially. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to send this data to Replit Agent 3, which is the vibe code, the low-code tool I use to build the dashboard. And we're going to send that as a post, and we need a URL. So I've gotten this URL from Replit, and then down here, it's the body type, the body content type is also JSON, and then we've got a JSON payload as well, where we're sending this dynamic data. It's the same data that we just looked at, and that's going to get sent into, I guess you could call it vibe code. But what we're using here is Replit, and you can see here a Replit. I've used Replit. I prompted Replit. I created a system prompt in Replit to build a dashboard for me. So this dashboard was built by Replit. So basically what happens here is the data gets sent from n8n to a URL to Replit, and then Replit will take that information and it will create a dashboard. And the dashboard looks like this. Here's the dashboard, but here's what the actual vibe coding platform looks like. And you can see I prompted it up here, and you can see some prompts down here on the left-hand side. So that's essentially it. That's how we've basically gone from ElevenLabs, which is our voice orchestration platform, to n8n, which is the backend workflow. We sent that data from the voice agent to the webhook. We had to manage it in a code node, and then we sent that to an HTTP request, which then gets sent to Replit so that we can create a beautiful looking dashboard for recruiters, for agents, for TA people for HR. And this dashboard looks cool. This is in line with my my branding and my website. This was all through prompts. I'm not a coder. This was all vibe coding. And then also the information in n8n will get sent to a Google Sheets as a database, and then there's a respond to webhook mode here. If you like what you saw today, please connect with me. I'd love to meet with you. Just go to my website. It's dynaflow.ai. Click book a free strategy call at the top of the website. By the way, I've completely revamped my website, so I'd love to get your feedback. You can see I've got 3 products. I've got Ref Checker, Scheduler, which we've seen both of these in previous videos. Check my channel if you want to check them out. And the latest one, which is Reactivator, which I'm really excited about. Anyway, go to book a meeting. That will take you down to what happens next. So basically, there's a discovery call. I do an audit. It's a free audit. Takes about 20 minutes. I'll discover bottlenecks and provide ideas for solutions. And then if you're interested in working with me, we do a pilot deployment. Really easy. I make this stuff easy. It's not expensive. It's a custom build. So it'll be your data, super secure, and you will have the data and you will have the build. Click on free strategy call. Sorry, I'm like digressing a little bit away from the actual objective here. Go to my Calendly, pick a time, pick a date, click next, put your name, your email, and a reason to connect, click schedule time, and then that'll get us connected. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the new demo and the new product and the quick tech stack build out. If you want to see a bit more of a deep dive into how I built this, please comment, please subscribe to my channel. Your comments and your subscriptions are not only appreciated, but they help guide me to what content I should make next. I'm really doubling down on this because I think voice, AI, and automation is the future. And I think if you're a recruiter, if you are a TA person, if you're an HR person, if you work in tech, if you work even in sales or any front end office job where, you're using the phone or you need to interface with people on the phone and it's just taking up a lot of time, I really think this technology can help you save time and make money. That's it. Peace out. Thank you for joining. See you in the next one.